this though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this is South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Alright, so we're back, and we're going to transition into the getting on the green part of the conversation. Basically, we're just talking about a subject, and we're going to stick to that subject for the rest of the show. And earlier we was talking about how it's pretty terrible in Star Wars, where Boyega's character got with the Asian chick, and I get it, like, you want to mix minorities, cool, whatever. But to be honest, he should have gotten with Rey. So,
but
really,
you know why that's not happening. I don't think Hollywood is ready for that yet.
They should be like a mixed force.
I'm not saying no.
Child?
I'm just talking. No, I'm just talking in general. Like I'm talking about.
They just
races.
had a movie with Idris Elba and who's that purely white chick?
Oh, the chick
the
from,
mountain movie. They was in the mountains or something like that.
But that doesn't have the following as Star Wars.
It's true. That's true.
So
I mean, they were a little pissed off when Boyega and the female were the lead characters.
That's what I'm trying to say.
In the Force Awakens.
So I don't think Hollywood. It's two terms. I don't think Hollywood's ready for it, and I don't think the Star Wars fanboys are ready for that as well.
Well, I got a question though. Do you think that Rey and the Asian chick would be down for like an open relationship with Boyega?
I don't think Hollywood's ready for that either.
I mean, just in general.
No.
Say it wasn't on the TV screen.
Because we're way out of our stratosphere. That's what we're looking for.
We're talking about on the outside of the TV screen. If there was in your relationship, if you had an Asian chick,
why should I be Asian?
Because I'm just trying to align it with Star Wars. You had an Asian chick, but you also had a Rey, and you wanted to open up the relationship with Rey.
Is Rey my wife? Or
no, the Asian chick is your wife.
Oh, the Asian chick would be down with it.
Okay, so Rey's your wife. Wait a minute. Why do you say that?
Because they're docile.
White people are more open to open relationships than anybody, probably.
But Asian women don't question.
But she lives in America, dog. Asian women in America question.
Just because she's American, just because she's in America.
Asian Americans
just
question.
Just because she's in America, America doesn't mean she doesn't forget where she came from.
Asian Americans, let's say she's Asian, but she was born in America. Asian Americans question.
Now we're going past. Anyway, the question you raised was, if I had a spouse that was white, and
you had a spouse in general.
If I had a spouse in general, and I wanted to come to her and be like, hey, thinking about having this open relationship with this Asian woman, or are we just saying another woman in general?
Any woman.
Just any woman in general? Would I do it? Is that the question? Or would I ask her?
How would you approach it?
That's weird.
Would you do it? I already know, because you already said polygamy is the way to solve sexual misconduct.
It is.
I already know you would do it.
What would be my approach?
Early in the marriage.
Oh, man. All right. I mean, obviously, this is something that I would probably have to do indoors, like at my house. Because I definitely don't want to do this, like, out in public.
You don't want a public open relationship?
No, I don't want to bring it to her in an open...
Oh, in the pub. You want to do it in the privacy of your home.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, like you and I, hey, baby, let's go out to eat.
Yeah, I don't want to go
while
to Red
you sitting
Lobster
at
and
Outback
be like, hey,
Steakhouse, so you sitting there talking about something.
Exactly. So, yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. But, no.
You know how you could do it, though.
Here we go. You got to do, like, figurines.
You should stage it. No, you got to stage it, dude. You got to actually already have the woman in mind. Have her come to the restaurant. Sit and eat alone and sulk. And then, like, you say, hey, baby, look at her over there. Isn't it so sad that she eating by herself on Christmas? Or something like that. Like, the New Year's almost here and she by herself. Let's go sit with her and talk. That's how you do it, dog.
This is what I would do.
In the public.
I would have, if we're going on that premise, I would have that same setup. I'd take her out to dinner. I would have the third wheel, if we're going to call it that. I would have her, like, outside in the car waiting.
Stage it.
And I would be like, hey, look, this is the situation. This is where we're going at right now. And then on an impromptu text, I'd be like, all right, go ahead and come in. She comes in. By the time she comes in, I'm already prompting her to it. Say, like, look, I got something I got to tell you.
And then you turn to the side and be like that,
and I'd be
girl,
like,
or this is the one.
Let me introduce you to...
No, you can't hit her over the top of the head with it like that.
Hop Sin.
Wow.
This is Erica.
You can't hit her over the top of the head like that.
Why?
That's too forceful. That's too.
And then on top of that,
she's gonna easily wince at that.
I'd have Hop Sing sit next to her, not me.
No,
so
she's gonna look at. Is this a black chick? Your wife?
No.
Because the black chick will kick her out of the booth immediately.
It depends.
You can't hit her over the top of the head with it like that.
All right, look. Let's. We're going on.
You can't just pull the dick out and hit her on the forehead with it.
That's not how it works. You can't do that in public. All right, so in a real life situation, if I want to go to my wife and talk about open relationship, pending whatever the reason behind it, how would I approach it? Obviously, beforehand, there would have to be some type of conversation. Definitely would have to be like, look, hey, we've been in this relationship, we've been married, blah, 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 blah. You know, I would have to come up with my reasons. I can't, like you said, I can't just throw it at her and then have her react to it. So I would definitely be like, hey, you know, we've been to, let's say we've been to a therapist, we've already talked about, you know, we've tried avenues.
You know what? Pause. I'm going to pause on that. Why gotta be a negative situation in a relationship? Let's say your relationship is pure and grand and great. Mm-hmm. Let's say that's what it is. Say there's nothing wrong. It's too easy to be like, there's a problem relationship, let's try something new. No, I want the relationship to be amazing.
But how many times does that actually happen?
I don't care. We having a conversation. This is hypothetical.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but that's the thing. I'm not talking hypothetical. I'm talking about real. Like this is something that actually is happening in your relationship. And 9 times out of 10, not saying that it can't be a positive thing. You and your wife or your spouses, y'all hitting on all cylinders, and y'all just want to amp y'all level up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about.
I'm speaking on it coming from a place of, I guess you would say negative, like, or I'm talking about to where you don't want to cheat. You don't want to be in an affair. You don't want to be labeled in infidelity or anything like that. So what you're doing is you're taking the steps. You're coming to your wife or your spouse.
So you're getting that itching feeling to go outside of the marriage. Yeah. Even though everything is great in the marriage, you're getting an itching feeling.
It can't be everything great, because if everything was great, then I wouldn't be doing this. So there's a fault. There's a fault somewhere.
That's not true.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying in the point of it being a positive thing. You're saying everything is good. I'm not. That's what I'm saying.
I said it's easier if everything is bad, or if there's something that says the only reason I'm thinking about this baby is because we're having this problem and this problem.
But why would you say it's easy? It's never easy to tell a woman something that they're.
No, I'm not saying the idea of asking for open relationship is easy in general. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it is easier if you guys are having problems or issues and you say, hey, let's try this to resolve our problem.
But you don't think if you and your wife are hitting on all cylinders that it would be easier for you to just be like, hey, we're doing great right here. This is great, don't you think? And she agrees. What about bringing in another woman? You don't think that's easier?
No, because that'll flip the relationship that's going on his head.
How negative can it be if everything's hitting on all cylinders? People always say it's easier for a guy to cheat rather than to just go to his wife and say, hey, I think we need to have a conversation. I think we need to have a talk. It's hard to bring... That's
from the guy's perspective only, but I'm talking about from
a full relationship
with
women?
No, from a full relationship scope, from a us, from a we scope. If everything is working great and then you bring in, I want to open it up, that's gonna fuck it up a great deal.
I don't know.
Fuck it up a great deal.
I don't think so.
She's going to be very insecure after that conversation.
I think it's going to go both ways. It don't matter if you're in a good relationship or in a bad relationship. It's going to go both ways of them being insecure. But what I'm trying to say, like,
there's a movie sort of like this. You ever seen A Decent Proposal?
Yes.
That was everything was great with them other than money.
Then everything's not great.
Listen. Everything was great with them other than money. Let me finish. The reason why they even contemplated doing it in the first place and they agreed to do that proposal is because they were having problems with money. But what if you're not having problems at all? It makes it less likely for the wife to be like, yeah, let's do it. But if you're having problems, it makes it more likely for the wife to be like, yeah, let's do it. Indecent proposal is an example of that.
How do you go to the bar with your wife, right? She's your wingman, pretty much. If you and your wife have that type of relationship, I mean, it's not like I'm just reading this out of thin air. You and your wife go to a bar. Y'all having a good time. Y'all got drinks, whatever the case may be. No kids are in the picture. You see a female, either A, you already know your wife is into that, to where she's okay with that maybe happening. Not saying that you've ever done it before.
There's no prior knowledge. You're making it easy.
I'm not making it easy.
Way too easy of a conversation if you have prior knowledge that she's okay with that in the beginning.
But so who's gonna feel worse? The woman, you and your woman. Who's gonna feel worse? You having your woman go get the other woman, or her having you go get the other woman? Who's supposed to feel worse?
I don't get the point.
Okay.
We're trying to approach it. There's been no prior conversation with you and your wife about that.
I get
so
that.
There's no woman who gets the woman, or you can't be out of the bar and then somebody decides to go get a woman. Like, it has to have a conversation. I'm just
saying, like, it's not like you've never broached the subject, like, not to be like, hey, what about so and so? She don't look too bad, right? And then obviously she'll brush it off and be like, oh, I'm not into that, blah 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 blah. Okay, something as small as that. But I'm saying, if you've married to this woman, or you've known this woman for X amount of years, you tend to know, even if it is just jokingly saying it, you tend to know if that woman might be into something like that.
I think you're giving people too much credit.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying giving people way too much credit when you think they would know the fact that their wife would be into it. They might know that their wife thinks other girls look good, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're into sleeping with other girls.
Let's say actually sleeping. We're just talking open relationship.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Let's define open relationship then.
I say open relationship is when you and your spouse or your significant other, wife, girlfriend, whoever, has the knowledge. She knows the other person's name to where she has fully approved of you sleeping with this other person.
And because we said we're not just talking about sleeping, and exactly why I said sexual contact. So here's my point.
What's the difference?
Are we talking about in this open relationship? Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. Okay.
You said doesn't mean that they have to be ready to sleep with them. When I said
no, we're talking about the woman. I'm talking about the woman.
So we're not talking about a threesome.
I wasn't.
We're just talking about you being able to go fuck another woman.
Yeah.
Where her not being involved, her just being aware but not involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying how does a person, male or female, bring the subject to their significant other? Because this can go both ways. Not just saying that it's a man bringing in a woman. It can also be another woman wanting to bring in a man. Saying how would they approach this? Right.
It's hard no matter who the person is or what the person does.
But
there are easier scenarios.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're a woman and you're saying because you threw in, oh well, you don't know this going into it. But I'm saying, dude, if I'm married to someone, not to say like it's a gunshot wedding, if I'm married to someone, or I've been in at least a 3-4 year relationship with this person, probably not even longer than that, I think I would know, in a sense, hey.
We might know, but you can't assume that you would know.
I don't see how A would be hard if you already know this.
Because she could be a changed woman. Yeah, she did it back in college. But maybe she don't want to do that anymore. Maybe she found God. I'm just saying, man. Like, the conversation is hard in general to open up the. You married? The conversation is hard to open. The only way it's an easy conversation is if your religion tends to it. If both of you are part of the same religion, you have family and friends. You have family or friends that are in open relationships or whatever the case may be, and it's worked out well. Stuff like that makes it easy. Mm-hmm. But in general, even the idea of bringing in a third party is going to be difficult or put some sort of strain on the relationship. So it's a hard conversation to have regardless. There are easier paths to the conversation based on religion, prior history, what you know about the person, things like that. Friends and family, you know, having situations and it worked out well for them. That's an easier conversation because of that, but it's still hard in general because of the strain it could put on a relationship. We have a person who got married on a whim that we know of.
Yes.
Do you think him and his wife have the deepest conversations?
Excuse me. Do I believe they have the deepest conversations as far as like something like this?
Sure.
I'd probably say no.
Exactly my point.
But we do know what that person does for a living. Fucker's never home.
I don't care. That you're making my point for me.
How am I?
You're putting people into your situation. You're saying, how is it that I've been knowing this person for 3-4 years? I've been dating this person for 3-4 years, and I don't know. I'm saying not everybody has the conversations like me and you do with our significant others. And we have an example of a person that we know of that probably has not had a conversation like that with their significant other. So you cannot assume that just because you've been dating this person and are either married or dating this person for 3 or 4 years that you're going to have an idea about what this person's sexual orientation could possibly be. You can't assume that. So, Green, how would you approach to your wife an open relationship? Let it be your wife.
How would I approach it?
Yes, your actual wife. So you got all the scenario. You know how long you know her. You know what type of ideas she has about open relationships or getting with women in general. So how would you approach your wife?
Well, that's okay. Before we get into that, you're assuming, because you said about my wife getting with women. I'm not saying that my wife has to be in tune with being.
So we're not talking about a threesome.
We're not talking about a threesome. Okay. I don't know why you keep going with that. I'm not talking about a threesome.
Maybe I just like threesomes.
I'm guessing that's where you're going at with this. Listen, so.
Well, a lot of people. That's what an open relationship is for a lot of people. So that's. I'm sorry.
For me,
I assume
that's not. No.
Okay. So thank you for clarifying.
That is not what I'm looking for.
All right.
That's not what I'm not looking.
You're just looking for an additional sex partner.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You don't want anything else from the other
Nope.
woman? Just sex.
Yes.
Just sex.
Yes.
So all your emotions is going to be with
Still
your wife.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're dealing with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have your 2 kids?
Yes.
So you have your 2 kids. All right. Go.
What was the question?
How would you approach it?
How would I tell my wife? I mean, honestly, I just tell her that I'm unhappy. I mean, obviously, that's going to be my first set of words. I would ask her, like, look, we got to have a conversation. Are you happy in this relationship? Because from that point on, from whatever she says past that, because it's not like I'm just doing this on a whim. I'm not just doing this because it's a Tuesday and, I feel... No, this is something that's been going on months, years on. And it's to the point where you're like, look, we've already had conversations about this. We've already tried to put a Band-Aid or remedy to this, and then nothing's happening.
So why not separate or divorce?
Very true. It could be another, like I said, it could be like, my thing is like you said, I'm not, that's the thing though, because you kind of just answered that. Everything else is fine. Parenting is fine. I don't think anything's wrong with that. And yeah, you could do the whole co-parenting thing. And I think it would come to the point where, yeah, that would be something that you're going to have to talk about. You're going to have to be like, well, why not just do that? And if that's where it leads to, then that's where it leads to.
So everything else is fine except for the sexual piece. And
let me start off by saying, maybe if sexual is where we're going at to put it in a vacuum, then I guess you could say yeah. But it could also be emotional. Like you feel that you're not getting the emotional compassion that you should be getting.
But you said all you want from the additional partner is sex, so
right. I'm
how
not
are
saying,
you going to remedy that?
I'm not saying that that's what I'm looking for, but to get to the bottom of it, you have to be like, well, why are we going? Like, why are you looking off other than what you have in front of you? Something in your marriage is denoting you from happiness, right? And what I'm saying is like, it could, obviously, for me, it would be straight sexual. I'm like, it is what it is. But what started that? Sexual, not sexual deprivacy or whatever we want to call it, is the end game. What accumulated to that? It's the passing off like two ships in the night, not talking, trying to make conversation, trying to engage, and not getting anything back.
So all that has been happening for months. So now we're at the moment where, because of the other factors, you don't want to separate or divorce.
Right.
So you want to start this conversation. How would you do it?
I told you, I just come straight out and say it. Like, are you happy? And if she can honestly sit there and tell me that she is, then I know that. Because if I'm not, and you can sit there and tell me that, oh yeah, I think everything's fine.
So then the separation and divorce is the option there.
That's
if she's happy and you're not happy.
Well, there's no way she can be.
You're assuming again. If she says she's happy and you're not happy, are you going forward with the open relationship conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going with it regardless.
So what's involved with this open relationship? All right. So we said the additional partner is purely sexual. Right. All right. Have you come in there already chosen a partner?
No.
So you are expecting her to do research with you for that partner?
I don't see why she couldn't. Not to say, look, I don't know the rules to this thing. I don't know the rules.
That's why we're here to talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know this. I don't know the rules to it. Now, look, if she wants to be one of those people, but this is my thing. How can you literally sit there and want to be my researcher on this, where if you had just done a piece of this research on your own, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
So here's the thing. So it for a lot of women was probably, I mean, it could go either way. Obviously, they can either be, I don't want to know anything about it.
Yep.
Or they could be like, I want to know everything that's happening. I want to know all about it, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So that's why it could be either or. Like, obviously, we can't, there's ways that you can remedy what's been going on for months. But we're beyond that at this point. You're already asking for an open relationship.
Right.
So who gives a fuck that she could have done this research and then done it on her own?
Right.
It doesn't matter anymore. All right. So now we're at the point of, all right, are you more open? I know it doesn't matter for you. Mm-hmm. Which one are you more open to? Her not knowing anything about what's happening on the other side, mm-hmm. or her wanting to be involved with it?
I only to answer your question, I'd be A. I don't want her to know.
You don't want to know anything about it.
One, because if the tables were turned and it was the other way around and she came to me, I wouldn't want to know about it either.
So why not just cheat?
Why?
Why not just cheat and just keep it a secret?
Because the thing about it is that I think us as human beings, we can't take the actual truth. Like, we can't take the actual it happening right in front of us. Like, being told, like I said before, being told you want to have this open relationship, you'll sit there and be like, it's going to be that shock.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Your pride's going to be hurt.
Especially with men.
Yeah.
With men. Because women, it is what it is. I hate to be stereotypical, but it's emotional. They're going to break down. They're going to be like, why? Why? What, what's, all that. But men, it's just going to be like, oh, well, what I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do? It is what it is. I mean, and if it came down to that point and you throw that at me, then that's something I got to swallow and take hold of. But, yeah, like, I think the process of it, to answer your question, I would want it to not, and I think it would be on both sides. It's like, I don't want to know about it. You're going to do it. I'm glad. I guess I won't say happy, but at least you were man enough to come to me and tell me this is how you've been feeling. If I come to you, I take all the necessary steps. Now, you don't want to have a divorce. You realize, I think when we talk about pride, it has to be checked at the door. Like, you have to sit down and say, you know what? Me as a man, she's come to me. She's told me she's been unhappy. She feels unappreciative. Whatever the case may be. I had to take that and be like, you know what? She's right. So I haven't done what I needed to be doing as a husband.
There's two things that come with that, all right?
Okay.
First, when you say your pride has to be checked at the door, when you have that conversation either on both sides about opening up the relationship, the door is kicked down immediately. Like, that's not a knock, nigga. Like,
Why you
they are busting in the door with the damn hammer because the house is on fire. Okay, that's it. It is what it is. There's no knock. There's no ringing of the doorbell. There's no wiping the feet at the mat.
Isn't that the same thing of assuming?
No, the conversation. No, when you have a sit down with this person and you say this person you are married with, yeah, they might have felt the same way you felt about the sexual interaction between you two, but in regards to opening things up,
but that's assuming.
The likelihood of them being like. The likelihood or the probability of them being assuming. Like, you know what, I was thinking the same thing. That's assuming, is really low, okay?
That's assuming.
So I will say this, because it is assuming. Mm-hmm. For the most part, that's not a knock, or for the most part, you can agree with that. That's not a knock, a ringing of the doorbell, or wiping the feet on the mat. That is, the house is on fire, I am busting in the door with the hammer. This is what it is.
Dude, it's a fire. I don't know. I came by and was tracking out the fire.
Well, that lady, Mona, she said that you two were in the building when the fire started.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
Okay, so you're saying you weren't in the building with that woman?
No, not I.
So if you have that situation where you're trying to check your pride at the door, like, there's got to be a moment given for you to step back and think about it. It can't be, there is no way you can expect a human being to be like immediately... You know what? He's right.
But no, I'm not saying it's gonna happen like right then and there.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm definitely not saying that. But that's what I said when I gave the first thing I said. Pride has had to be checked at the door. Like, you can't sit there and think, I'm gonna tell you this, you're gonna take it, and then we're just gonna walk off in the sunset together.
Right. So that's why I said that. The reason why I said that is because, say somebody's listening and they want to have that conversation with their significant other, they can't immediately go in there. Like, a part of the conversation has to be, hey, I'm going to give you some time to think about it. If you need to step off, if you need me to stay at my mama's house, you know, if you need to stay at your sister's house, something like that has to be a part of that conversation.
You
because
already know the man's leaving. There is no...
Well, I'm just saying, we don't want to assume, right? The highest probability is the man is leaving. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. But, you know, I'm just giving both sides, all right? There has to be a part of that conversation. It has to be, take some time to think about it. Like you said, it can't be like, hey, this is the conversation. This it is what it is. I need you to give me an answer now. Or we're going to walk off in the sunset and live happily ever after. I'm going to fuck her. I'm going to fuck you. Hey, life is great. Can't happen like that. All it's more than likely not going to happen. Okay. Like that.
I'm agreeing with you on that.
So the other thing is, if they agree, say your wife agrees to you getting with another woman in the relationship, does that mean you are obligated to give her the same opportunity?
See, I knew you were going to say that. Well, no, this is the thing. I feel that it can't be... Now, this is my thing. If this is the subject matter and you feel... You come to her and you be like this, and then it's like, oh, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. My thing is that it can't be. Because then y'all should just separate. Because what's the point? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not being stingy by saying that.
That's all going on.
No, because see, that's what I'm saying. I'm the one, because no.
What if she came to you? Would you feel the same way?
That's what I'm saying. If she came to me first and was like, hey, it's a race of who can ever do it first. You should have been woman enough to come to me. I'm standing on this platform by myself, coming to you.
It's not a race. She never thought that would be something. She never wanted to do it, or never thought that would be something that she would tolerate in her marriage. So of course she's not going to come to you.
Who gets the bonus points for doing it first then?
There is no bonus points. You only think there's bonus points because you feel like if whoever came first says let's open it up, I get to fuck another man or another woman, that means that the other person doesn't have the opportunity to do so. That's why you think there should be bonus points.
I mean, maybe I should use bonus points.
So if she came to you and said, hey, blah 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 blah, I think I need to open it up. I want to stay with you. I want to be with you.
Okay.
I love you.
Right.
I want to open it up and I want to get sexual attention from another man.
There you go.
You would be okay with not getting your opportunity to get sexual attention from another woman.
If I'm talking about me,
if she brought it to you first.
No, because it can't. No, because I'm the one. I'm the one that's not getting it. You can't say because all of a sudden.
I'm saying if the situation was, if the script was flipped. That's all I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. You're talking about me.
I'm saying if the script was flipped, she's feeling the same way you're feeling. You're feeling the same way she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
She comes to you and says, let's open it up. I want to get with another man because I don't feel like I'm getting all the sexual attention that I need. You don't think you should get the same opportunity as her because she brought it to you first. You just said that now.
No. If I'm talking about me, myself,
I said the script is flipped.
I get it what you're saying. Don't use me. Don't use me. Because if it was me, no.
Hypothetical you, man.
All I'm saying is, if it was the other case, if it was the shoe was on the other foot, I would have to be that person. I'd be like, look, yeah, if that's the way, if you feel that way, I got to check my pride at the door. Am I willing to see, all right, so what came to this? Like what, and this goes both ways. Before we jump into all checks are cleared, go ahead and start doing what you're doing.
There has to be some research done.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, if I'm not willing to sit back and be like, all right, what caused this? What did I do?
So, a part of the conversation has to be, hey, I've been thinking about doing an open relationship with us because I'm not getting the sexual attention. But before we get to that point, I want to try to figure out why we're not sexually active.
Right.
We're not clicking. We're not on the same level when it comes to that aspect of it. Because everything else with us
it's fine.
It's fine, except for that piece of it. I want us to overcome it first. But if we can't overcome it, I want you to think about the idea of opening up the relationship for me to sleep with another woman. I want to stay with you. I don't want to separate. I don't want to be divorced.
Right.
But I do need to get some sexual attention. And if we can't overcome that challenge, then I need you to be okay with it.
Boom. You can put that in a card. Like a Valentine's Day card.
A Valentine's Day card? Yep. That's what you would do on February 14th?
I'll probably do it before.
Yeah, please do it before then. Please do it before then. So,
alright. Good. I couldn't word that any better.
Okay. So, say y'all had the powwow, you had the conversation, in the Outback Steakhouse or in your home, wherever, right? And y'all don't, maybe you give it 2 weeks. Say, let's try to work on overcoming this issue for 2 weeks. Something like that. Okay. Right. How long would you give? Because you didn't seem happy with the 2 weeks.
Listen. But I'm ready to pull that pin.
Oh,
it's no slow movement now. This train has already moved.
How long you willing to give?
I mean, look, in the case of, we're talking reality, man, and if it's I'm willing to come back. I mean, I wouldn't say like 2 weeks because nothing's going to change in 2 weeks.
That's the thing. Like, how you have to give longer than what you're thinking about because you got to see consistency. That's the problem. Is I know. Well, I ain't gonna go too far to that, but the problem is consistency, like constant sexual attention. Because what could happen is, what could happen is she could give it to you, a few times in a row, and then you think everything's good, and then
that's the Band-Aid
it go back down.
That's the Band-Aid effect.
Like, so now are you giving? Because what could happen is you give 2 weeks, everything's good for 2 weeks, and then it slow down, and then you have the conversation again. And then it's good for 2 weeks, and then it slow down, and you just extend the problem. Yeah. So, like, that's hard to gauge. First, setting a timeline in general is difficult to do, and then what happens in that timeline is hard to gauge if the consistency is really there, or if it's just a facade to extend
the inedible. Yeah. Inedible.
Inevitable.
I said that.
It sound like you said editable. Edible.
You can't even come out.
Inevitable.
I said it.
Okay.
Anyway, no. I classify that as the Band-Aid effect. Putting a Band-Aid on it and seeing how. What the fuck? So, but yeah, To answer your question, an allotted amount of time. I guess you would say 6 months, but who's willing to wait that long? Oof. Especially,
you've already gone through 6 months of it.
But yeah, if it's to the point where it's been longer, like if it's been longer than that past the time of you having this conversation, how much longer are you willing to wait? Because we've already had this conversation. Everything's been good for the 2 weeks, and it just goes back down. You've already done that already. So you got to ask yourself that question. I think everyone has their own time frame of how long they're willing to wait. Like if you already to this precipice and you're like, this is where I'm at right now. All I got to do is just be like, hey, look, time frame of no. We got to figure this out.
This is probably why you shouldn't delay this, because I know for you it hasn't been kept in. But a lot of people in this situation would, the fact that they're not getting sexual attention, they kind of keep that in. Mm-hmm. It's just problems in general. Not just sexual tension, but since we're talking about it, they would keep that in, and then they would be so angry that they get to this point, and by the time they're ready to have this conversation, they're not ready to give no more time. They ready to fuck something.
It's ultimatum time.
Yeah,
it's time to put up or shut up, nigga.
Like, you either fuck me tonight, or I'm
gone.
I'm going to fuck another woman.
I feel you.
So, if you're thinking about having this conversation with your mate, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your spouse, whatever it is, you can't hold all of this in until you get to that point where you at the climax. It's gotta be levels to this shit. You know what I mean? It's gotta be base camps to this point B.
Oh god, not the base camp shit.
Base camp's the point B, man. It's just legit.
God.
So, alright. So say the timeline has passed, whatever your timeline may be, and things haven't changed. Alright. Is this one woman, or is this one woman that is being additional, or you can go and have a party? You could fuck whoever.
No. As far as if we've already had the conversation.
You already had the conversation, the timeline has passed, she's agreed. Is this one woman that you're seeking, and then once you got that woman, you're set, that's who it is?
I think it can't be no more than one woman.
So it's just one woman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, wait a minute. Are you saying it can't be no more than one woman at a time?
No.
Or it gotta be one person?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that you've already went through everything.
Yeah,
she's already agreed to it.
Open relationship is happening.
All right, now, because after a while, it's just you fucking random people, or more.
That's what I'm asking. So, is it just multiple women, or is it just one woman?
It's just me, my wife, and then that person.
And that's who it is.
Now,
as long as the open relationship is.
But it will come a day where that third person may not want to do that no more.
So do you re-up?
That's the thing. Do I go back? I have to let her know. Maybe it might be mean to the point where I'm like, well, look, maybe this is getting tiring, or, some factor may input to where I'm like, either my wife is to the point now where she's like, look, 6 months has gone by. I thought things were getting better. Y'all have come to an agreement to where she would like you to stop the open relationship.
The wife.
The wife does. I have to.
Why?
Because maybe the factor I've been putting in is maybe things have been getting better.
What if you're not getting better? Why do you have to?
But that's what I'm trying to say. Who knows? The 6 month period or the year period of you doing this open relationship, within that last 6 months, maybe your wife have seen. I know the whole assuming thing, whatever.
No.
What?
Do you really think you can go cold turkey?
I'm very detachable. I cut things off quick. I probably can.
I'm talking about no, wait. Think of the best sex you ever had in your life.
I'm already there.
And it's consistently happening with this woman. You think you can go cold turkey?
I can, yeah.
interesting.
It's not a good characteristic of mine. I've been told that plenty of times.
That's a good thing. If that means you're not addictive to things. That's good. You don't have an addictive personality.
No.
Some people couldn't stop. Like you gotta, woo, like woo. That thing. Like when we bring that back to its open relationship, there's obviously a lot of concerns with the open relationship. Some of these don't relate to you, some of these do. One, obviously, the girl getting pregnant. Another one would be like diseases. Another one would be like either the girl catching feelings or you catching feelings. You know, things like that. So I'm pretty sure there's more that we could probably figure out as we go on. So here's the conversation. Obviously, you are snipped. So there has to be a contract. And what I mean by that, it doesn't have to be written. But there has to be rules to the process. Like condom or no condom. Like you can only do it on these days. Or don't bring that bitch around my kids. Or, you know,
I definitely see that.
There's got to be rules. What are the rules?
I mean, no, honestly, I mean, we joked at that one, but no, women do not want to be in the presence of somebody that is upshadowing them. That's in the job place, that's at church, in the smallest of venues. No woman would want to be upshowed by someone else. So you mean to tell me that you think and that's the thing, I don't see how even in polygamy how it works. Like you got 4 women all in the same house, all getting this vagina ran by this one dude.
I think they got cooking schedules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's definitely a hierarchy to who's top to who's bottom, and I don't mean that physically.
Yes, you do.
I mean that in
yes, you do, because I promise you in those bedrooms, say it's 3 guys and 3 girls and 1 guy. I promise you, it'd be moments where just one of them,
all doing it.
Just one of them. That's what I'm saying. Just one of them is fucking, and the other one's just sleeping there silent.
I don't know.
Or watching Netflix.
I think it's a day
or
thing.
something like that.
I think it's a day.
Like
thing.
it's just, that's just interesting to me.
I think it's a day thing. It's like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm with Becky. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm with.
I promise you, I think they all in the same room while only 2 of them are fucking.
No.
I promise you.
I don't think it works like
that's
that.
how it's going. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Eventually, it's going to get to that point because somebody's going to get upset. Somebody's going to be like, I don't want to go in the other room. I don't want to go downstairs.
That's why.
I'm comfortable.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you keep it organized.
I don't want to. I want to be in the bed on Monday. Why I got to be downstairs on Monday?
That's
I don't want to be
that's
downstairs
what we're talking
on
contracts.
Monday.
Then that's something between you and Jaquita. Y'all got to swap them days around.
It ain't gonna be Jaquita's doing that. I promise you that.
Whatever.
That's why. Like I feel like if this was an open relationship where it was a threesome type, like there can't be no separate sex. Like once one is having sex, everybody having sex. So the problem with that is if one person ain't in the mood, nobody's fucking.
But why is that my fault? You could have had a bad day at work and you just ain't in the mood. Then you know what? I guess I'm going next door.
Right. So that's why it might be. That's what I'm saying. It could be. It might be better that it's not a threesome that you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's separate. You know.
I'd rather it be separate.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the rules? Right. Condoms.
Got to
do condoms.
Snip or no snip, I don't think it matters.
Is there like you got to get checked every month type thing?
I say like, well, I mean, if you're honest with your significant other, testing obviously, yeah. Like if she's not asking you to not do that, then y'all definitely got some stuff going on.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's easy. I'm talking about the sexual partner.
Oh, it's like if it's the same person, because that's another thing we're talking about. Is it going to be this person until you two have deemed...
It's the same person for you. Doesn't mean it's the same person for the sexual partner. She could have multiple.
Oh,
is that part of the rules too?
Like she can't be fucking nobody. Like the third wheel.
Is
can't
that
be
part
fucking
of
somebody
right?
else.
Is that part of the rules?
I think so.
That okay? So the
Yeah.
third person can't be fucking anybody.
Yeah.
So then when's the checkups though? Both parties got to have checkups, not just you.
Yeah.
Every what?
Huh?
Month?
We do it like a job thing. Yeah. Do it like every 60 days.
Every 2 months.
Every 60 days. Yeah.
All right. So every 2 months.
Every 45 days.
Every month and a half.
There you go.
Checkup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's another rule?
They said condoms.
So condoms.
No third.
Checkups.
No fourth parties.
No fourth wheels at all
Mm-hmm.
by the other sexual partner or your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like no fourth wheels.
Now we're going off on the leg of saying that she knows about this, saying like because you remember earlier we were saying like, is it either
That can be part of the rule.
we want her to know, like you want her to know about it, or do you not want her to?
What would be your preferred rule?
I told you I don't.
She don't know anything about. She knows you're doing
She
it.
knows
She
I'm
just
doing
don't
it.
know
She
anything
doesn't-
about. They
she
don't know the
doesn't pass
name.
that. Exactly.
She just knows you're doing
But
it. She don't know the
that's
name.
the thing I'm trying to say. If we're going that route and she doesn't want to know anything else, like I know you're doing it, just don't bring it into the house.
So you can't do it. That's a rule. So you can't do it at the house.
No. Like don't bring like I don't want to know about it. Period.
Okay.
And
So you
when
can
I'm
do
using
it at
that
the house if
term,
you want to.
No fucking.
So that's a rule.
Because that's what we're talking kids and stuff. So no.
Well, the kid's not there.
No.
Okay. So no fucking at the house.
No fucking in the house.
So then this third wheel has to have has to be established of some sort.
I mean, they got hotels.
That's money.
Depends on where you go.
That's still money.
Everybody got a car wash.
Nigga, you trying to fuck though.
Everybody got a car
Everybody
wash.
got a car wash.
Everybody got a car wash.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
So no fucking in the family car.
Well, depends on the car.
So you can't fuck in the house, but you can do it in the family
I'm
car.
saying like you fucking in the child's seat.
I get it
If I
though,
got
but
a
the child's
Pacifica-
gonna be in there.
If I got a Pacifica with a big back,
But the child's gonna be in there eventually. That's not a problem to you? I'm confident that'd be a problem to the wife. No fucking in the family vehicle.
all right, look. Everything's got to be on their terms. Put it like that. It's got to
That's
be
true.
at her house. It's got to be in her car. It can't be nothing that has a prior family member's linking to it. Can't be in a family's car. Can't be in a family's house. Past the threshold, past the yard, nothing can come across.
Okay.
Straight down the line.
Alright. I'm gonna flip the script a little bit.
Oh God.
No. Not bad. Say the wife has to know everything.
Okay.
Alright? Is the wife choosing
The woman?
the woman?
I would love for her to do it. It's weird. I would love for
Why?
her to do it. Because you know what? How spiteful my wife would probably be. It'd probably be nothing that I would fuck.
So why would you want her to choose?
Because then she's still accepting it, but she still feels that she's getting something on the back end.
So you would still fuck her.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what did I want in all of this?
And there's nothing emotional. But wouldn't you want something that you can...
Nope.
So it doesn't have to be a looker.
No.
Wow.
Hmm?
That's
See?
interesting.
See? I just twisted stuff just
You
now.
did.
See?
You did. You flipped it right on his head.
Because you have to. Because if you're already going in looking for a particular woman, then you're already associating feelings. You're already associating.
Not really. It could be a fetish.
I ain't got time for that.
Could be like, I've never had a white girl or something.
No. Well, we already know that's not the case. But look, we are going to the
Me
point.
for you.
We are going to the point where I'm like, look, there can't be no preordained feelings or anything like that. No. To answer your question, go ahead and run with it. I'd slide the ball over to her. Go ahead and do your research. Follow me. I'd love it even more. I honestly would.
Oh, God.
I'd love it even more because, like you said, women... women, in any way, shape, or form, love to control the situation. They feel that they already do, being the mother of the household, being the bearer, all that jazz. Why not in this case as well? I'm pretty much, being a woman, I'm pretty much saying who you cannot fuck. I'm finding her for you. She's going to be putting little bees and bonnets and whatever the case may be. She has more control over it.
So given this little flip, you still would prefer the woman not be involved? Or now that you're getting some sort of satisfaction of
I could go either way. If you're saying me in general,
which would you prefer?
I prefer I don't want her to know.
No, okay.
But if she's like, no, I want to know about it, I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck that. No, I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay. Ah, shit. Any other rules, man? I can't, I think we hit all elements. How about other people knowing about it? You would tell me. You would tell me. Like, I want to go out to eat with her, dog.
You stupid.
I want to go out to dinner with her.
We go watch Infinity. We gonna watch Infinity War.
Infinity War.
That's what we go That shit's on my birthday. Oh shit!
I'm telling you,
comes out on my birthday. That's
you would
so
tell
funny.
me, and I would absolutely want to know.
I
would want to go out to eat with her.
My thing is this. I go back to another thing. Women don't like to be embarrassed, especially in families and stuff like that.
So family, but friends you trust would you? Dude, you can't keep something like that a secret.
I don't think I could, because after a while I'm a man, and eventually you or somebody who's close netted with us, somebody will know. So it's hard to not think that it'd be a bottled up. No. But as far as her, because at the end of the day, she's still your wife. She's still the mother of your kids.
True.
And you still want to have, in whatever least sense it could be, you still want to have some
sort of
form
sensitivity.
Yeah,
towards
exactly. That. And I hate to even put the word respect to it, but you want to have civil.
If she accepts it, then
exactly,
yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, some sort of respect.
So that's my way of thinking about it.
But
yes. What I tell you.
Yeah, like day one.
Like after it happened the first time?
No. Like
when she said
when
yes,
she says agrees to it.
I probably text all y'all.
Yeah. You gotta let me know immediately. Like nigga.
It works. It works.
I'll be like, then tell me more. What did you do? How did you say it? How did it go?
What did you do?
What did you do? Oh man, like that's pretty interesting, man. Yeah.
I mean, look.
Is this is this hypothetical still? Like, is this something that you're gonna try out? Like,
hey, listen, man. We in 2018 in a couple hours.
Here we go.
Okay,
here we go.
We living in a world.
New year, new you.
Listen. Exactly. We living in a world where we in 2018. There are shows about polygamy. There are.
Oh my gosh.
There are success stories to this. You see Monique on the Steve Harvey show with her husband, and they doing that.
They are?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Dude, they've been doing it for years, though. That's the thing. They've been doing it for years. And she's fine with it. Man, it's both sides of the spectrum.
Both
sides.
Both are doing it.
Both sides. And that's the thing. I think, like I've been saying, you have to check your pride.
You think that's when she started losing weight?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, now she says she lost weight because she felt that she wasn't getting the roles that she should have got. Yeah, we'll use the air quotes.
Yeah, quotes. She wasn't getting the roles that she should have gotten. Yeah, that might be it. I know she had a little thing with what's his name that makes Empire.
Oh, Terrence. Oh, the guy, the
guy,
producer,
the director, the producer, whatever. She had a little thing with him at one point. Not thing like
I know you're talking about that, like the spat.
Yeah.
But no, to answer your question, man, that's the one thing, man. Women, I think, when, like, I don't want to put that out there.
I had another question, too.
I don't put that out there. But you see women, you got a woman that's in a relationship, they've already had kids, they've gotten to the point where either A, they don't feel sexually enough for their spouse, they feel that they're ugly, whatever the case may be. They don't do what they did before, whatever. I understand that everybody's body's different. When you add kids to it,
postpartum is legit.
It is. And My thing is that if you don't tell your significant other that you're going through this, we live a life of busy. Like, everything's the next thing. We are constantly jumping from one thing to the other. So yes, there are times where we will get lost in between something that you're feeling versus the...
So, I'm going to take a quick serious turn, man. Because, yeah, we talking about open relationships. We having a little fun with it and talking about contracts and situation and how you maneuver about it and things like that. And for the most part, people, I would probably say people think about it. I don't know how much people think about it on either side, but it's not really something that is said out in the open. For the most part, you probably hear more conversation about threesomes than you would about an open relationship. You know, so really, in all sense of the matter, we're talking about what you need to do to prevent getting to this point. And there's a lot of situations that lead to it. It could be like we just talked about postpartum, you know, stuff like that. Some of the things that are out of your control that can lead to these feelings kind of harping on a guy or a woman. So the biggest piece about it is to be upfront, open, and honest. Check your pride at the door, and try to come to a resolution. Like, it can't be like, this is how I am, this is how I feel about it, and it is what it is. Like, you gotta have conversations about it, and then the conversation's got to be ongoing. Like, you're not gonna solve it in one conversation. You're not gonna solve it in two. It might be 15, 20 conversation. It might be 6 months, a year's worth of conversation. But the other person has to know that there's at least some sort of attempt to overcome the issue, to find a resolution, to get better, whatever the case may be, so that we don't get to this point of an open relationship. I'm not down for an open relationship, me personally. My partner here might be a little bit more down.
Listen. I tend to think that, which everything you said, I totally agree with you. Listen, don't take what mostly I'm saying here and thinking like, oh, you know, this man just trying to find an easy way out. Because like we said in the beginning, it's not going to be easy on either side of the tape. But like I said, man, I tend to think at the end of the day, if you're real with yourself, you're real with the other person, and like I said, I agree with you saying, like, you have to have that conversation. It's easy for us as men, or it's easy for us, both sides of the spectrum, to just go out and cheat. It's the easier thing. You can just go out, find you someone who's willing to do it,
right?
Get done with them, you go home, you wash your dick in the sink, you go back into bed, you're good to go.
Right.
You wake up the next morning as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's the easier thing. But what happens with that is that you look at it and you're like, that happened so fucking fast. That was so easy. Why not just do it again? And then that turns into an ongoing
habitual thing.
Exactly. And eventually, the way social media is, I don't care how fucking good you are. You're going to get caught. You're going to get caught. So when it happens, it hurts more when you have kids into it. Obviously, if it's to the point where the female or the guy, it's totally off track. Like, they don't see it coming. Like, they don't understand why. And the sad part about it is, when people do it, and they got a good relationship. They got everything going for them.
True.
And it's just that I don't even know what to call it. It's just that want, I guess you would say. It's for us. They say, oh, it's that male predominant DNA that we have.
I don't even think it's what it is either.
Know.
Like, and to be clear, ladies, I'm not talking to just y'all. When we're having a conversation, we're not talking to just y'all. Like, guys, like, if you feel like you want another person outside of the marriage, like, you gotta be, if you want that marriage to last, even if it's not a marriage, if you want that relationship to last, you gotta be open about that type of shit, man. Because otherwise, you're just gonna start seething, and you're gonna cheat. Like, it's gonna happen. You can't overcome it by yourself. That's what the purpose of a relationship is for. You gotta talk about that shit. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. And ladies, when they do talk about it, you can't dog them on it. Like, you gotta be happy that they were open and upfront and honest about it. Like, people got needs and wants and stuff.
It's so easy to just go out there. You got these Ashley Madison websites. You got all these other websites where it's so easy. I mean, websites, apps, all that stuff is easy. Yeah, you could just, literally, you can just go out. Women, men are everywhere. So, you can't fault a guy for that one person who's willing to just sit down and have that adult conversation and just be like, hey, look, I like how our relationship is going or our marriage. Look, it is what it is. I'm coming to you as an adult male versus female, whatever, and I'm like, look, maybe we need to talk about this further. Just having that conversation is the first step. And yeah, there's gonna be tears. There's gonna be a lot of yelling,
disdain.
There's gonna be a lot of shit being said that at the end of the day you probably didn't mean to say. But I will say, if he's not already doing it, don't assume that he is. Right. Just because he's willing to come to you and have the conversation, don't think, oh, you're wanting to talk about it now because you were already doing it.
Because you're feeling guilty.
Like, no, I'm trying to be a man and come to you and be like, hey, no, I haven't done anything. But I have noticed how our relationship has been going for the past 3-4 months. It could be longer than I'm just using that number. And I honestly am not happy. And I can honestly sit here and say, I don't think you're happy neither. I don't see how you can be. So before we go to this end game of where, and who's to say that may not even work,
right?
But we cannot not have that conversation without having this one first.
Yeah, because we're not saying that this honesty will lead to a successful relationship. Right. It could lead to a successful departure. You know what I mean? It could. So, but it's better than spending time or wasting time rather with somebody you're not supposed to be with or you don't want to be with. So, but yeah, man, that's it for the GreenTee podcast, man, today. And don't forget, give us your information, give us your feedback. Let us know, man, if you got something that's seething inside of you in your relationship. Go ahead and email anonymously the GreenTee podcast at GreenTee podcast at gmail.com. If you got something to say about open relationships in general, people that done it before, you've seen success in it, you've seen failure in it, you just want to talk about it in general, or you just put your thoughts on it, you can post that at GreenTee podcast on Twitter as well as Instagram. We appreciate your time.
Put it on Facebook?
Facebook too. GreenTee podcast on Facebook as well. Posted there as well. But we appreciate the time. Thank you for listening, man.
Hey, man. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry New Year.
Don't get too drunk. Be safe out there.
Definitely.
And
even though you're gonna hear this after you've gotten drunk and weren't safe,
it's not the fact that we're not. We want to say even though this is after the fact, that we cared.
We did care.
So
we did care.
Happy New Year.
So
bringing the New Year with somebody.
Right, because if you're injured, you can't listen sometimes. Like if you're dead, you can't listen. So
nope.
Listen. We out here on your whole ass mama. Bitch.
I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this is Falk got something to say, that's all I got to say.